We've got the DOYOKY Epoch Joy-Con alternatives here today.
In brackets made by Bimbok as well.
Yeah, that's it. And what are they touted as being, AJ?
These are not for small hands.
No.
The biggest Joy-Con alternatives?
That's what I'm going with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they're huge. And
maybe we can clickbait the title just to annoy some people.
Yes, we could. We could indeed.
So you've had these for a little bit. You've done a review on the channel. It's gone up. I wanted to quiz you on what they're like to live with and kind of give my first impressions of them too. Yeah. Maybe any questions that I have.
Yeah, because AJ here's not actually
I've not even seen them yet.
Before. So, yeah.
Can I open them up?
Yeah, you can. And so we've got a Binbok Play box and logo here.
Yes.
These are by DOYOKY.
So that doesn't suggest that DOYOKY and Binbok are the same company at all.
No.
Yeah,
no. Of course they are.
But it said Binbok on the front and says DOYOKY inside.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the manual. We have
some joystick cap toppers.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to use those.
No. Oh, you might not like the ones that I've put on. They're the same from what I put on. The nub, because I'm a massive...
Wow, okay. They're absolutely huge.
They're massive, aren't they? Yeah, they are monstrously big. Look at that.
Oh, you put nubbins on there.
Yeah, I love the nub.
Oh, okay. Oh, weird. I could get on board with a nubbin, actually.
The nub's great, isn't it?
Seriously,
let's just take a minute. Look, go back to the ones it comes with. Let's just take these out. So, just really quickly to recap, if you've not seen my review, you've got the flat style, which it comes with, and then you've got the nub, which is what I've got installed there, and then you've got the extra tool ones for like FPS games where you've got bigger range of motion. Essentially, really easy to pull on and off. You just literally pull it off. And then get one on.
That's a really nice feature.
And
yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
there you go. So have a feel in between.
It's difficult.
Oh, you're undecided.
It's undecided. Depends what type of game I'm going to play, which I guess is why there's multiples.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah,
I'm going to put the nubbin back on.
Yes, I'm a massive fan of the nub. Yeah, you just got to like
make sure it's
straight. And then there you go.
Okay, they are humongous,
massive.
Can I give something as a reference?
Absolutely.
Maybe the original Joy-Cons.
Yep. Yes.
Oh my days.
And if you turn it sideways to show off
the thickness.
The thickness of that. Just look how fat.
Wow. Okay.
That is.
They weren't lying when they said, they were very expressly clear saying these are not for small hands.
Yes. But it's funny because I've got medium-sized hands, which I would say are small for a man, and these are perfect. They fit absolutely fine for me. I wouldn't say for children, and maybe like Christina's hands are very, very small.
Yeah.
Maybe she would struggle with these.
Yeah, okay. I'd say the travel between the right joystick and the buttons and the space between the buttons is probably a little bit too big for my liking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That seems like quite a long way, and I like that. That's quite a lot of space going on there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm being hypercritical.
Let me just have a rejig. So you're saying the distance between the joystick
and the buttons seems too far.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, I do get you there. I do get you. The thing is, though, I would say, depending on the game, you're either going to be staying with your thumbs on the joystick. So if you're on an FPS game, you're going to be just staying on the joystick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not really moving around the buttons. And if you're playing a game that doesn't require dual sticks, you're probably going to sit with them like this. Do you know what I mean?
It's just a first observation. What's okay, bumpers are nice.
Have you found the extra?
The extra?
Just keep looking.
Oh my days!
Yes!
There's an extra button on top.
Yes! There's 3 on the top. So you've got a bumper, a trigger, and a macro bumper on the top.
So before we get to the third button, I just want to say the travel on that is really nice.
Yeah, there's basically none, is there?
The pre-travel it's
just clicky right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Even on the triggers. Now, the triggers are not analog. They are digital. So, again, it's just like pressing the bumper.
Do you know, I'm all for the digital.
It's fine. Yeah, it's not a problem.
But that's because of the type of games I play.
And also, the Switch, well, it does accept analog input, but really, let's just say, for the sake of argument, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because no game supports it other than like a couple. This is aimed at Switch gamers. The people that are upset with the fact that it doesn't have analog, or any Joy-Con doesn't have an analog, is people that use Joy-Cons on the PC for other games. So I understand that.
Yeah, if I'm wanting to play a racing game on the PlayStation, I want analog triggers. But digital triggers for most games I'm playing on the Switch, like you got Prince of Persia there. Makes a lot more sense. Now, the third button's on top, the third bumper button.
Yeah, the, M1 and M2, is
M1 and M2. So I take that's programmable. That's why it's M.
Yeah. And there's back paddles as well.
Oh my God.
So there's four programmable
four buttons.
Yeah, 2 on each side.
I was going to say I would probably use that for the equivalent of pressing the joystick in.
Yeah, so L3 and R3.
Yeah, so what typically on an FPS game is sprint or whatever.
Yeah.
I would typically put that there. But actually, when there's that button, I think we all tend to use that as that sprint button.
I normally do L3 and R3 to the back paddle.
I'm not sure what I'd use that for, but it's nice that it's there.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And the ergonomics of it is really clever because I would worry having a third button on top, third bumper button, you would accidentally be hitting it all the time. But
you don't, do you?
It's raised up, so you don't.
And also, it's easy to get to, because I was worried it might be a bit of a faff to basically get your fingers to it.
Yes.
But I didn't have that problem. When I was actually using it, I was like, this is actually really comfortable.
What's going on with the switches in this then? What's the...
Oh, what, in the face buttons? They're
membranes,
just membrane,
What about the bumpers?
Same sort of thing, yeah. There's no mechanical, which is one of my...
They feel nice for membrane.
They are nice, yeah, they're good. They are good. But that was one of my sort of points at the end of the review. I wish that... the D-pad's not very good.
It's not very nice.
I said it's okay.
It's crunchy.
But you
feels like I've got bubble wrap going on in there.
You have just been using this, which has spoilt you massively.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it's a good comparison, actually. The Mobopad M6 HDs there.
Yes.
They are the kings, and obviously you may have already done a comparison. You probably will do a comparison.
Yes, no, I will be doing, or I might have done already, depending on when this goes out.
We've all been totally spoiled by them, but not everyone's going to be reaching for that kind of price point.
No, that's true.
So it's nice to be looking at these more mid-priced alternatives, and these offer something different. These are huge.
They are massive. Try them on the actual Switch though, because it is a different experience. I mean, what did you feel with them being like a controller? It felt good though, didn't it?
Felt really nice being that big.
Yeah, it felt like an actual controller, you know. So I'm going to see what you think.
Whilst they're on. Oh,
it's massive, isn't it? Let's remove the center. Oh, and by the way, the centerpiece does have a USB-C charge port on the top, so you can charge them that way.
Okay. Right. Can I be honest?
Yes, absolutely. Be honest.
That might be too big.
Too big.
It might be too big to be on the Switch.
Yeah. Look at the size of this thing.
That's bigger than the Steam Deck.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't bring my Steam Deck with me today.
It feels wider than the Steam Deck.
It probably is.
The Joy-Con to screen ratio is now well off. Do you know what I mean? I think that this Switch is now at least 30% Joy-Con. I agree with that. I tell you what, though, it looks cool.
It does look cool, doesn't it? Yeah.
Look, the RGB LEDs going around the outside there.
It does look cool, and they're customizable as well.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can turn them off.
If you're a battery snob. Yeah. Even with the nubbins on the joysticks, there's a lot of travel. They're quite high, aren't they?
There's a lot of movement in them,
to get to full extensions.
Yeah, again, you might find that it's a bit more normal with the standard caps.
But the lack of friction around the outside is really nice.
It is
the gates are nice on them.
I did wish that they'd put metal around the bases, you know?
Yes.
Like the Mopads have.
Yeah.
The extra anti-friction.
Yeah.
They don't have that. But these are... I've just realised I haven't told everyone all the specifications of these.
Do the specifications. I'm just going to play some games.
Yeah, go for it. So these have a battery of... Well, it takes about 3 hours to charge, but you're going to get about a 5-hour battery out of these. They've got Hall effect sensing joysticks. Now, these actually have JH16 Hall effect modules in them, which is the better Hall effect sensing sticks, essentially. And the Hall effect means that they have less dead zone, faster actuation, like faster input, essentially, and they won't drift because they're using magnets instead of friction, like from potentiometer sticks, which is the traditional way. So that is much, much better. We've also got those programmable back paddles. So you've got, hang on, I'll just save AJ from opening the Switch OLED.
I didn't want to break your OLED.
It's all right. Oh, this is actually something really quickly to point out.
That's a really interesting feature.
I didn't even think about that in the review, because I very rarely use the kickstand.
You cannot use the kickstand.
No.
With these.
Well, you can if you want to look like directly down on it. It's like, well, hang on, you could eat your picnic.
There you go. Yeah.
Look.
So because this is so big, the kicker on the bottom extends well below the screen.
Yes. So
the kickstand won't work properly.
But obviously these are meant to be for like handheld playing. But that is kind of annoying. Like,
it is annoying if you just wanted to leave your Switch stood up somewhere.
Because otherwise you're looking at that. And that's not too bad because it's still not touching the Switch.
Actually, for that shot, the close-up shot of this, it gives a fair idea of the size going on behind.
Yeah.
How the size of this.
Yeah, exactly. And how beefy these are. They truly are big, you know. But yeah, so it doesn't have HD rumble. They've just got standard rumble, which is adjustable from 0, 50 and 100%.
How much of a negative is that for you?
What, HD rumble?
Compared to standard?
It's horrible, really. You know, it's so buzzy. Like, there's two types of rumble before you get to HD rumble. You've got the horrible, like, high-pitched, like, you know... And then you've got the nice low round rumble, which I'd rather have. Yeah. These at 50% aren't bad. They're not great, but at 50% it's actually livable. Yeah. At 100% it's all tinny and high, like, you know.
High oscillation.
Yeah, that's it. It's not very nice. Whereas when you step up to something like these, which have HD rumble, it's night and day difference. You know, it really, really is. But... for standard rumble, as standard rumble goes, 50% on these is fine. I even said in my review, they should have just put 50% as the only option. Yeah. And not bothered with 100%.
On or off, 50%.
On or off, 50%, done, you know, whereas they haven't. This also has macro, obviously, with the top 4 buttons. Extra buttons as well. And the back buttons. So you can do button swap. And when I say button swap, it means that the button truly acts like the button. Yeah. So that if you programmed A to the top or back button, if you light pressed it, it would do like a small jump. Yeah. If you held it, it would do a big jump. Whereas some controllers in the past would say button swap, and actually it would do a 1 second macro record. So if you tap the button as you recorded that, it will only ever do a short jump, no matter how long you held the button.
Really annoying.
And it's very annoying, you know, especially when you've got stuff like Prince of Persia, where Sargon here, if I hold down this button, see he's charged up, and then I let go, and now he's done like a super attack. Yeah, that wouldn't work unless there's true button swap. Yeah, so this does have true button swap. Most stuff does nowadays, to be honest. But you've got macro record as well, up to 16 inputs, I believe it is, per button, which is pretty cool. These have turbo as well, where it repeats the action. But the one thing that really is weird for me is this only has one type of turbo, so it will only assign turbo to when you hold the button down.
Oh, okay.
Whereas most controllers give you 3 options. Yeah. Well, one being off. Yeah. But one is holding down for it to actuate. The other is you tap it and let go, and it will just spam it for you indefinitely. And then you press it again to pause it. This did away with that. So it's only got the one where you hold it down, and nor can you change the speed, the actuation rate. Whereas normally you have like 10 inputs a second, 25 inputs a second, 50 inputs a second. This is just like, it's just...
What's battery life like on them?
It's only 5 hours. It's not great when you consider these are 17. You know,
that's insane. That's PlayStation DualSense territory.
Yeah. But to be fair, I mean, they're huge. They've got massive RGB LEDs on them. Yep. And most of these style Joy-Con alternatives have low.
Size-wise, it's actually because they are being marketed as the biggest. Yeah. We've got the Hori split pads there.
Yeah, the Hori split pad Pros. It might be easier to take it off, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say the Epoch is slightly bigger.
Yeah, you can see
very slightly.
You can see the horn kick out is larger, and if you turn it sideways, you can see massively how the ergonomics are. Yeah, the Hori split pads are like flat. Yeah, whereas this has a huge dome and it curves all the way around. It's like massively different.
They're certainly honest in their claim that they are for big hands and they are the biggest. Yeah. Maybe not for kids.
No.
I think for me the biggest letdown.
D-pad.
Yeah, D-pad. I was just staring at it.
I like the texture though. So if you feel it, I like the rough texture.
Yeah, Yeah,
but
nice.
That's the only thing that's good about it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not the worst.
It's
it
not
really
the
isn't the
worst. No.
But it's just not great either.
No,
it really
it's
isn't.
crunchy.
Yeah, it is. It's not very good.
But yeah, there's a lot to like about it. Price point you were saying is $65?
$65 or 52 Great British pounds.
For that price point, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I would say that I don't want to be too negative. Like the build quality wise, it's okay, it's great, but you can feel that it's a plastic that's not going to last forever.
Yes.
And we've been totally spoilt by the MovaPads.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we really
Which is horrible because now you compare everything
Absolutely.
to them.
Yeah, no, I always do. Like mentally.
Yeah.
They're top, these guys are the top dogs, so I'm always in my mind pitting them against these. What I do like though is that Binbok and DOYOKY here have chosen to go outside of the mold. They've remolded,
done something different.
They've done something new, whereas normally it's just the same shells being used with some slightly different features or different RGB. This is new. We've not seen on any controller, any Joy-Con, this third shoulder button.
Shoulder button, and it's a really cool feature.
Really cool. These are the same as the Binbok Ultra Pro controller that I reviewed like 6 months ago, and they've just turned them into Joy-Cons essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. What I'd like to see improvements on, better D-pad.
Better D-pad.
Every Joy-Con alternative needs a better D-pad, to be honest, other than these.
It'd be nice if the switches...
I'd love mechanical switches, but again, that is a personal preference. But
once you've used mechanical switches in your Joy-Cons, you will never go back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then other than that, HD rumble.
But all of those things... A, are subjective, not necessarily objective, and B, will double the price.
Absolutely. I mean, look at these. These are almost double the price to their versions that don't have HD rumble, and some of the other features.
So you have to take it all in its own kind of merits. For a mid-price point Joy-Con alternative, for big hands, I think it's really hard to beat it.
I think it's a really good option. Yeah, because some people love the idea of these or bought these and then returned them because they're too small.
Yeah.
Because these are more like the Hori split pad compacts.
Yes.
So if you've got massive hands, I mean, look at the size difference there.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You'll definitely be looking at the Epoch just here.
I would say...
I find them really comfortable.
I probably slightly prefer them as in the controller configuration.
With
Joy-Con.
With the attachment just here.
But that's a personal preference. Some people might want their Switch to be that big.
Yeah.
And all power to you.
Yeah,
it's probably bigger than a Steam Deck though.
It's getting there if it isn't already.
Yeah. Awesome. If you want to find out more about these, there will be a link below, obviously. And if you want to see more from us, there's channel memberships.
Yoo-hoo, where you can
get to watch these videos in advance. And join our Discord.
Yes.
Join in the conversations.
Do it.
Anything else that they get for that? Warm, fuzzy feeling?
Yes. Just warm, fuzzy feelings.
Yes. Yeah. And if a warm, fuzzy feeling isn't enough, then watch one of our other videos, maybe the latest episode of the 128 KB podcast.
Yes, do that.
Because this is our chance to plug everything. Get used to it. Andy, say goodbye to them.
Bye.